the round function, if you specify the the digit value something like this, okay, and so in this case what happens is, so look here, so what is the, when you round it off, what value you will get it? So here the digit, right, 12.55 comma 0, round function. So you take any programming language, round function is there, isn't it? This is a built-in function. You take SQL query, or you take Python or any programming language or any RDBMS software, right? The round function is used. So here 12.55 will round up to 13. So why 12.55 comma 0, right? So if the number of digits is greater than 0, the number is rounded to the specified number of decimal values. This is the number of digits, right? So number of digits, you see this is num digits, right? Num digits is 0, then this number is rounded to the nearest integer, right? Next nearest integer is 13. And here 12.45, since you have mentioned here 0, but the 12.45 is there, it got rounded down to 12. See, we know this school time we studied, right? So in the decimal, if you see anything 12.55, anything above 0.5 and above, right, it will get rounded to the next integer value, okay? So in the case of 0, when you use the 0 argument, okay, and 12.45, this 0.4 is less than 0.5, hence on the left side value, this left side value will get rounded down to 12, right? So this 12.5, yeah, instead of saying left side, the 12.5 will get rounded down to 12. So you have some round up and round down function to clear this thing, okay? So the round up and round down function does the same thing. So if you specify the argument 0, so it rounds up to the next integer, next nearest integer. The next nearest integer is 13, especially if your decimal value is more than, if your decimal value is 0.5 and above, will consider. If the decimal value is less than 0.5, it rounds down to the this value, right? On the left side, whatever value is there, it will simply rounds down to this. And we have something called floor function, floor, ceiling. In a house you have floor and ceiling, right? So the floor is kind of your ground and ceiling is your roof. So here 12.03 and the first argument is 1. So what will happen is it rounds down to 12. Whatever the round down does, right, the same thing, because the 0.0 is less than 0.5 and ceiling 12.032, but in this case, though it is 0.032, in the case of ceiling it rounds up to the next nearest integer. Ceiling is a roof, right? It logically the name is also same to with this naming convention, right? With this function name itself, we should be able to understand how it was. Ceiling is nothing but your round up, and the round is nothing but your round up. In the case of round function, on all the thing, right? So in the case of round 0.5, the decimal value is 0.5 and above, so it rounds up to the next nearest integer. If it is less than 0.5, but whereas here, whether your decimal value is 0.5 or less than 0.5, it still rounds up to this one, ceiling, okay? So the round, the first argument, suppose your number, num digits, it takes the two argument, one is 0 and other one is 1. So if the num digits is 0, the number is rounded to the nearest integer. If the num digits is this one, right, is less than 0, the number is rounded to the left of the decimal point, right? So number of digits is less than 0. So that is what, but simple rule of thumb is school time, right? Whatever you studied, right? You just remember. See here also 0 mentioned with 0, but since here it is 0.5 and above, it rounds down, it rounds up to 13. So what you do is, I would suggest you to create a measure for this one, and this is an assignment for you all, and just test it out, okay? So the round function, because it's a very simple one, you can just give it a try.